Jon Brody is a former professional poker player, and now he runs an agency in New York City called Ladder.io. And what they do is scalable PPC campaigns, so ad buying campaigns for a lot of startups and huge enterprise companies. And they have a system that they built that allows them to get clients through pay-per-click. So I had him on to break down his entire strategy. So here is the best of that webinar, how to actually grow an agency with pay-per-click. What are you looking at, especially when it comes to driving leads with PPC for agencies?
Most importantly, why are you doing PPC in general? Or like why are you spending your time and cash on it? Ultimately, you want to get ROI. So really for us, like the prism that we look at success by is like simply put, are we getting more ROI from it? And really that means like, are we getting more qualified leads?
The thing that I love about you guys that you do different is you're not just doing the normal content.
Yeah, we built like an actual platform that basically helps us build strategy each month, where we launch tons of different marketing tests that target like KPIs in our own funnel. We know the levers that have to get pulled is like one of our main levers actually driving like data that like we know leads to like more ROI in customers at the end of the day.
When you're looking at this strategy, what is your funnel right now?
So I will say this, like if you're going to try PPC at your agency, definitely automate the lead scoring. It's really difficult to know like what the hell was actually working, like when it came to PPC itself, when you have that type of a lead scoring system. So at Ladder, what we do is when somebody converts as a lead, they actually answer a series of questions. Every question has a score assigned to it. So when somebody does convert through PPC, like we know automatically, this was a qualified lead, this was an unqualified lead.
So what does that lead score look like? Is that the customers are answering questions? Is that the salespeople are filling out? Are there certain steps? Like what does that actual lead scoring look like?
We basically ask for how much you spend each month on marketing is one question. The second is your like business type, like are you B2B or e-commerce? That's a really important question. And we also ask you basically just like what's your ARR, how much money you make each year. Those are our 3 to 4 like kind of main questions that we ask.
What platforms are you hitting? Like what do these ads look like? How are you attracting high quality people with these ads?
A bunch of different channels actually. We run activity across 3 to 4 prime channels like Facebook, definitely, Instagram, AdWords, as well as Quora. But we've had success with Twitter, LinkedIn, of course, especially I think we're doing email strategy for enterprise. LinkedIn makes a lot of sense because you can target the same companies you're emailing and get in their face through some additional kind of like touch points. And we've actually seen that increase click-through rate and open rate on emails as well. Yes, most people who will be searching for it aren't qualified. To me anyways, that's not the game. The game is actually optimizing how many qualified leads you get, not focusing and worrying too much about how many unqualified leads are being brought in. At the end of the day, if you have a strong funnel.
What would be some like very low risk tests you would run?
Take the list of like qualified leads you've had historically, build a lookalike audience on Facebook. That's like one is like low hanging fruit to get like a higher quality audience without having to do too much testing. Another one would be like retargeting. If you're not doing retargeting throughout your entire funnel, not just like getting people to become a qualified lead, but like retarget your leads once they're in the sales funnel. Like that is PPC. It will definitely strengthen your conversion rates like way down funnel as well.
That's interesting. Are you pulling out the unqualified leads for the retargeting based on the lead score?
Exactly. I'd also say too, like one good perspective is they're not qualified leads right now for you, but you're still getting people who like have money to spend. You know, we have 3 years worth of like unqualified leads and we get a lot of unqualified leads each month, but like we're now developing offerings that are able to monetize them and leverage them. Like, so for us now we have technology built that's like really well suited for these unqualified leads. And actually when we first started testing again, like a self-serve kind of like technology first funnel, we actually went exclusively at our unqualified leads. For us, if we didn't have that unqualified lead workflow, like we never would have been able to actually test like all these new offerings. It became like a playground to test like experimental services and new types of technology that we wanted to try to like, market.
The main thing we've been doing for digital agencies is saying no to them. Having all those qualifications and going that way, maybe it's easier in PPC.
Yeah, I mean, I think it makes sense. And like when you think of PPC in general, like it is a conversation starter, it's a touch point. We know our customers also have. When they show engagement, we then like escalate. Like I think without PPC, it'd be very difficult to do that. Like obviously with an email drip, you can. But I think PPC is just like one more way of taking that proven kind of process, but being able to really broaden and widen who you're speaking to.
What are you sending them throughout this long period? How do you keep them engaged?
So we basically just like send like content drips. Like also as well, like you're probably building content if you're like an ambitious agency like founder. Even one piece a month, just throw them into a Facebook ad, like and have some different creatives rotate. Even that does the job because you're just trying to basically keep your brand top of mind with these companies. PPC is a great way of like automating you not having to pay somebody or do it yourself, like constantly like emailing people one-to-one and like hoping they get back to you. Like when you try a new marketing tactic, you're assuming it's going to impact like some KPI that will lead to you having like a good strategy.
So how did you know that PPC was the channel worth going after?
We know throughout our entire funnel, right? And there's a lot of steps. So it's like somebody sees an ad, they click the ad, they go around the landing page. There's like 3 or 4 like actions they convert. If they're qualified, then they go to intro call. We have to hold the intro call. Intro call goes to demo. The demo has to be good and qualified. That then goes to some like proposal type stuff, and then we're trying to close them. So like there's a lot of steps there. Like what the value is of getting somebody to convert as a qualified lead.
And I just realized something huge about myself while you were talking. I haven't done PPC seriously since then. And I'm wondering now that you're saying that, how much of this is having a business idea that actually works? Because with cold email, it's the same way.
There's no way we could target successfully if we didn't have like a well-tested landing page and like a good proposition and like a high converting funnel.
That was my experience. Like literally, I gotta go and do it again. You ever like live one way for a very long time and not realize you're getting everything wrong?
My other good strategy that we use at Ladder for like clients as well is like test lots of like interests, like interest-based targeting. And then even if the interest-based targeting isn't performing well enough to be ROI positive, know which interests work best and then layer those on top of the lookalike audience that you built based off a customer set or like a qualified lead email set. And that is a pretty good way of like adding some more firepower to the quality of audience.
What does it look like setting up a PPC campaign? Is it easy enough for a non-techie or something they should hire out?
I would say definitely don't hire out. If you can't figure it out yourself, you will hire the wrong person.
So I was gonna say, I've got 2 sides to that, right? One is try it yourself, even if it's a trashy attempt, like spend $20 on it.
Yeah.
And then, you know, like that'll be enough really if you're not passionate about it at all to go hire somebody. I think Neil Patel said this in a post a really long time ago. He's a marketer as well. And he said that he would never hire a consultant for something he didn't at least try and fail at.
I completely agree with that. Like definitely try it yourself first.
What's your email sequence look like once you get the lead's email?
First thing, most important is like, what is the entire purpose in life for our email sequences? For us, it's simply to increase the percentage of qualified lead. How is it improving that one number? We have 4 stages right now. To be honest, actually, they're all working really poorly. Like we actually saw recently, we have like an amazing conversion rate of qualified lead to meeting booked.
I'd love to look through your emails, maybe on another video, and see if there's anything we can do to drive that up, especially if it's not performing. So how do you know what the number for Ladder is?
The most important input to start with is what is a customer worth to you lifetime? Everything before then, from like what you pay per click, what all your different conversion rates are percentage-wise to get to a customer, you can add it all up. So it's like, you always are going to know on average how much you're spending on your marketing budget and then how many sessions you get each month. That basically equals your like average aggregate CPC. The very, very, very end, the other side is like money, like what happens when somebody actually converts. Every single percentage in between those 2 different goalposts is literally just like influencing whether or not you are making money or losing money when you pay for that individual session each month. So we're looking at all the different steps. You have 2 numbers, the lifetime value on one end, the average CPC on the other, calculated by number of sessions and how much you spend each month on marketing total. And then in between that, you simply have percentage values. What is the percentage of somebody who actually goes from like a click to actually submitting as a lead? What is the conversion rate percentage of a lead to a qualified lead? Qualified lead to a meeting booked to a meeting held to a demo to a proposal to an actual sale. Those are all the percentages that we track at Ladder.
Wave says, how much money does someone need to get started in this strategy if you had to estimate roughly?
Like start very small in the funnel. Just like drive leads to a page where they convert as a lead and then just try to get an intro call and try to like, just based off of that, just basically look at like click, convert, talk to someone in your team, close.
Yeah, and it depends on how you take feedback too. Like I know for me, one of the reasons why I couldn't get PPC to work when I was just starting a business, like testing business concepts, is because there really isn't that real-time feedback. Like it's so easy to just pour money down. There's so many different variables. And then once you get a couple clients, like you've got a landing page you know is an offer that people want, then you can try cold email, you can try all this other stuff. And I think that systematic approach is key. There's downloads you have of this, right?
Yeah. We actually have our own software platform that we kind of like open source to the public that basically lets you run growth tests the same way Ladder does in terms of like testing individual creatives, messaging strategies and so forth.
I might do a review on that because it really is like, all right, X27, we know we generate leads for digital agencies, right? So now it's, how can we riff that in 30 different ways to get an ad that works?
It's basically like one massive multivariate test that basically validates how to get your brand to perform at its best. Not doing PPC is essentially not making choices because you're scared.
What are the biggest pitfalls to avoid when starting out with PPC advertising?
Bad tracking, number 1. If you don't have a measurable and transparent goal for success, like a qualified lead, and you know how to measure that with total accuracy, don't spend any money. Number 2 would be define your customer personas before you start. That'll force you to not like do things that are off-brand basically, and also allow you to have data come back that isn't just, okay, things converted, they didn't convert, but actually translate it into like actual business intelligence.
So for you, who are your customer personas? I'd love an example.
Yeah, so for us, one would be somebody who works in manager plus salesperson or SDR reps at like an SMB. That persona is interesting to us. Another persona for us would be like a startup founder at a company where we know their biggest pain point in life is they're losing money. Like they're gonna die, basically. If they don't keep raising money or they don't figure out their funnel very quickly. We know their pain points is like actually like survival, that they have to figure out their strategy from the ground up, and they have to actually figure out and validate what is the winning combination of like creative strategy, messaging, actually validate their personas, where they spend their time online, channel selection. Those are fundamental questions that we would focus our messaging on in our funnel if we were talking to like a founder persona at a startup. You're
really inspiring me. I got to double down on it because I was thinking of the Reddit experiment. We partnered on a Reddit experiment that I think didn't generate any income for us in terms of conversions, but I'm thinking we got to try another one. But that's a perfect example of a little test, right? Like we spent maybe $50 on Reddit, found out, maybe we should double down, another time, but for right now, it's something not to try. It's the same for Instagram, or Behance or any of these. If you can get the ad spend to be under $100, then why not try it?
Winning isn't number of hands you actually win, or the number of pots you win. It's how much money you win in the end.
Where did this mindset come from? How did that come around?
Yeah, just poker, to be honest. Before that, I wanted to be a creative writer, so it definitely wasn't that during that stage of life. It was just playing poker. I played so many hands of poker that it just became ingrained in me that how to think about decision making like this.
What's the future of Ladder? I know you're testing a bunch of different stuff right now.
It's a kind of our life outlook is all about good decision making through more data and little bets. But like for marketing, it's really all about how do we just like let companies collect more information by testing more aggressively, and then translate that information in power that you can then leverage through better strategy that makes you more money.
100%. And I know with cold email, that looked like us having a spreadsheet, which I still haven't released to you guys. I'm going to release to the audience soon. But it's like this subject line performed this way. This subject line performed this way. This subject line might have had an 80% open rate, but the reply rate dropped by 40%. Yep. So it's like it starts with tracking all that data. And that's something that is so frustrating to set up. It really is. So I'm glad you did a lot of that for PPC.
We're focusing more and more too on that initial setup, like that audit and getting your analytics properly set up in the first place.
Are there any online resources influence? Like who are we supposed to be reading if we want to learn PPC?
I would say WordStream and Brain Labs is a European agency, arguably maybe the best in the world when it comes to PPC. Now, obviously, the Ladder blog has some good stuff too.
Where should people go if they want more info on you?
Just ladder.io is our website. And then if you just want more of our content, it's all free, non-gated. Just go to blog.ladder.io.
Follow Brody, go check out Ladder, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, awesome, man.
If you found this video valuable, I'd love if you would share it with a friend. Identify somebody. Write them a quick email. Hey, you'd love this video. It's all about pay-per-click. Send it over to them. And if you want more enterprise clients for your agency, huge companies, billion-dollar brands, you want to work with those guys, check out experiment27.com. We'd love to find those clients for you. If you are a consultant, you have a business book, and you want it turned into a documentary that's not your regular corporate video, but it's something that has art that can end up in film festivals and on Netflix while also generating you more consulting clients, check out loreliapictures.com. I'd love to talk. And if you want to work one-on-one with me, the only way to do that currently is through experiment27.com/consult, and you can buy me by the hour. I feel like Pretty Woman, especially in this fancy hotel room. Thanks for watching. I'm Alex Berman.